Hey everybody, it has been a minute. My name is Eric, I'm the Fraudiophile. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about what's in a name. So I want to talk about some of the best and some of the worst band names of the music that I have in my collection. So names are a funny thing, right? So I call my channel the Fraudiophile. Why do I call it that? Mainly because I'm cheap. Not really an audiophile. I like good sounding music, but too cheap to spend way too much money on it like some of the true audiophiles can. And for me, it's really all about the music. But that's just the name of my channel. Let's talk about some bands that have good names and bad names. One of my favorite movies, music-related movies, is That Thing You Do by Tom Hanks. And in there is a great example of what a bad name can be for a band. So that band called themselves The Wonders, W-O-N-D-E-R-S, and the record company decided to change it to The Wonders, O-N-E-D-E-R-S. So people were always calling them The Oneaters, which is just an unbelievably terrible name. So let's talk about some records that I have stacked up here, some with good names, some with bad. And then there's one that's controversial that I need your opinion about at the end. So as always, if you like what you see here on the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video, and please leave a comment. What I really want to hear is, and the reason I wanted to do this video is to hear what you think are good band names. What are some good ones? What are some bad ones? What about ones that are in between? So let's go first. One of my favorite bands, The Replacements. Love the name of the band. They started off with several other names, finally settled on this. It's fitting for this band, right? They're kind of a bunch of misfits, never really fit in. Not the band you were coming to see. They are The Replacements. Great album cover, great name. Love these guys. Another band name that I think is fabulous. How about Soundgarden? You know, back in the 70s and 80s, you had all these bands that were trying to sound kind of tough with their band names. Metallica, Megadeth, Judas Priest. Soundgarden, to me, sounds like what their band name is. Grungy, thick, a wide variety of different sounds as they progress throughout their career. And I think Soundgarden is one of my favorite band names. This one is a band that truly stayed true to what their band name was. It really is almost like a mission statement, right? Rage Against the Machine. Can you think of any band that actually is named more properly than what this band is for what they sing about? It's one of my favorite albums of theirs, Evil Empire. It's a band that cracks me up that people across the political spectrum like. Some people kind of freak out and say, oh, Rage Against the Machine went woke. If you think they went woke, you've never listened to them since the beginning of their recording. Great band name. Another one that I think is really good, especially for the type of band that they were, it's Minor Threat. So I think most of you know who Minor Threat is, a hardcore band. Morphed into Fugazi eventually. Ian MacKaye was the lead singer and actually the guy on the photo here. Really, how big of a threat truly is a band? It's not a huge threat. They're a minor threat. They even had a song that was named with the same thing as their band name. It always cracks me up when bands either have a song named after their band. Wilco's another one that had Wilco the song off of Wilco the album. But yeah, great band, great album, and a great band name. Then another one that to me really is super fitting for what they were, it's the Jimi Hendrix Experience. I mean, when you listen to any of Jimmy's albums, it truly is an experience, and especially at that time, so different than anything else that was out there in the psychedelic sounds, and Jimmy's guitar playing really is an experience all in itself. So those are 5 of my favorite band names, the ones I like the most. Let's get into the fun part, the ones that are terrible. First one, and this band even admits that their band name is terrible, and that's the Drive-By Truckers. I mean, really, what is the drive-by truckers? Are we talking country music? Are we talking, since you used the truckers in it, drive-by? Is this gangster rap? No, it's straight ahead Americana rock and roll, which is great. Love the band, love their music, but the name is not good by any stretch of the imagination. Another one with a terrible band name, in my opinion, the BoDeans. When I hear BoDean, the first thought that comes to my mind is the Beverly Hillbillies. I believe it was Jethro BoDean was the main character in that. Nobody in the band named Bo. There's nobody in the band named Dean. So where do you come up with a name like the BoDeans? Fun little fact about this one too, though. The BoDeans were the first like real rock concert I ever went to. When I was in high school, I went down to La Crosse, Wisconsin, and saw them at UWL. Another classic rock band here with a terrible name would be Electric Light Orchestra. This is out of the blue. This is a fabulous album. Really like Jeff Lynne. I like the work he does, not only as an artist, but as a producer, and the work that he did in the Traveling Wilburys as well. But everybody refers to him as ELO, and I think one of the main reasons, not only is Electric Light Orchestra a long name, it's just a terrible name. ELO is a much better fitting name for this band. Another one with a terrible name. I'm sure you probably all know the story behind this one. So Lynyrd Skynyrd. So from what I've read about this, where their name came from is in high school, they actually had a teacher whose name was Lynyrd Skynyrd. But with the very, very southern drawl that he had when he pronounced his name, he pronounced it Lynyrd Skynyrd. Therefore, that's the name of the band, and that's actually the name of this album, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. Terrible name. Great band, though. And the last one in my list of the band names that I really do not like and think is dumb, another great album, wonderful artwork, is Neutral Milk Hotel. Yeah, Jeff Mangum, genius, great album. By the way, this is one of the albums that if you ever listen to this, do not skip this, do not lift the needle up. If you're listening to it digitally, you have to listen to this from beginning to end. This album is, in my opinion, a nearly perfect album, but it's a single piece of art. It's not separate songs, it's one album you have to listen to. But couldn't Magnum come up with a better name than Neutral Milk Hotel? I'm sure there's some sort of meaning behind it, but in my opinion, it's just an unbelievably terrible name. So last one I want to talk about. I was actually talking to my wife about this before I made this video. I'm like, give me your rundown of really good and really bad band names. So I had one on my list that was in my 5 worst that I now pulled from my 5 worst because my wife thinks it's one of the 5 best. That is Foo Fighters. Now, probably the reason I dislike it so much is I went and saw them in concert actually right after this album first came out back in the late 90s, and brought a buddy with who was not a big music fan, and he had no idea what we were listening to. He's like, what the heck is the Foo Fighters? And he called them the Food Fighters, and that's stuck in my craw for the last 20 plus years. I think it's a terrible name. Foo Fighters is what the pilots back in, I want to say, the World War II days were actually called. Anything that was considered a UFO was called a Foo Fighter. That's where this came from. Again, I think it's terrible. My wife thinks it's a fabulous name. So the question is, what do you think? Is this a good band name? Is this a bad band name? So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think are good band names. What are bad band names? If you feel like doing a similar video, go ahead and put it up and tag me in it. Another thing I wanted to start doing at the end of all of my videos, because I watch so many YouTube videos myself related to music, is just to do a shout out to some other channel. So today I want to give a shout out, and I'll link to his channel here in the comments or the description as well, is 10-minute record reviews. So this is a great channel. Alan Castle is the guy who runs this channel. It's mostly focused on jazz records, but he does some rock reviews. He does some other things on there too that really aren't record reviews, kind of how to build your collection and such. But it's just a great channel. Every video is edited to almost exactly 10 minutes, and there are hundreds and hundreds of episodes. I think it's a great channel. Alan seems like a great guy, has a great personality, and really has helped me, especially as somebody who's relatively new to jazz, to understand more about the genre itself, to understand the records, to understand the background of the records as well. So just wanted to give him a shout out. If you haven't seen his channel, go ahead and click on the link that I put in the description here and check it out. All right, hey, thanks for watching. I hopefully will be making more and more videos soon. I'm going to try to focus on making at least one, if not two a week going forward. So glad to be back. Have a great one, VC.